Mary Helen Dara, Taylor Automotive family, women in the driver's seat. Today we get to speak with the incredible Jennifer Gilliland of Beyond the Scale Nutrition with Jennifer. She's a registered dietitian, a hormone health specialist, you name it. She has a lot of tools in her bag to help women navigate perimenopause and menopause and their nutrition and well-being on a whole person level. I can't wait to go in and speak with Jennifer. Let's go. Jennifer, thank you so much for being with us today.
Absolutely.
Let's jump in. You openly share your personal journey with self-doubt and transformation. What was the true turning point that shifted everything for you emotionally and spiritually?
It's a really good question. So I really realized that I was hiding behind a lot of different layers, a lot of different filters in my life. And I really wanted to step out as myself. And when I had young children, it was very apparent that I needed to make some decisions in my life about where my time was going to be spent. And so obviously as a young mom, I was very focused on taking care of them and what their needs were. And as the kids got older, I realized that I needed to redefine who I was, because if I don't know who I am, then how does anybody else know who I am? So it was really this turning point of I needed to really rediscover who Jennifer is. And in that whole journey, that means my emotional, my mental, my physical, all needed to be reevaluated and reassessed. And so it's a really kind of an awakening that happened for me. I really woke up and just said, you know what? Life is too short to just stay behind screens or behind, these filters. And I really needed to be myself. So in that transformation of physical change, the emotional and the mental just had to come along with it, because without one, you can't have the other. So.
Yes, yeah. A lot of sense. Many women focus solely on diet during menopause. Why is it so important to address the mental and emotional aspects of nutrition as well?
So I always say that nutrition is the foundation of everything that we do. We're like plants. We need the nourishment, we need the fertilizer, we need the water, we need those things to help us to be the best version of ourselves, especially physically. But when we can really look at all of the other aspects, how are we sleeping? How is our stress level? How are our relationships? What is our connection to the outside world? It's really important that we're looking at all of those pieces. How are we physically moving our bodies? Because that changes after, a certain age. So we have to really look at all of those pieces, because we're not just silos. We're not just the person who eats several times a day. We do all of these other activities, and we have to be fully functioning in all of those areas. So if we're not getting the physical activity in, we're not able to get up off the ground after we're playing with our grandkids. If we're not feeling our best emotionally and mentally, we're not really present in our relationships. So it's important that we look at all of those pieces, not just the nutrition, although nutrition is super important, but it's one of the foundational pieces.
Okay. Can you explain what the reset method is and how it helps women move beyond restrictive dieting?
It's one of my favorite questions, because in my mind, in midlife, in menopause, perimenopause, it's really important that we're resetting. We're not just reinventing ourselves, but we're taking what the best of us is and resetting that to something even better, even richer. So when we think about resetting, it's simplifying, it's breaking things down into what's really important to us at this time in our lives, and then resetting into that. So it's simplifying, it's transforming, it's changing what we used to do, what we felt like we had to do. Maybe we're people pleasers, maybe we're doing things for other people. And now it's like, okay, how do I show up in my life in the way that I want to show up? So it's a whole reset. It's giving people permission to really kind of start over again in a new and beautiful way.
Oh, it's beautifully explained. How do hormone changes during perimenopause and menopause impact mood, anxiety, and self-image?
Oh, so many ways.
Well,
how long do we have?
Yeah.
It's really interesting, because when you talk about midlife and menopause, we talk about hot flashes. That's the kind of the pillar of what we think about and what we talk about. But what about the people that are eating too loud in our space and we're just irritated with that sound, right? You've probably seen the memes on Facebook of people like just going crazy and somebody's crunching potato chips right next to them. It's a real thing. It definitely is. So the emotional and the mental piece is so important, because if we're denying that side of us, we're denying a huge part of who we are. So if we're not taking care of ourselves mentally and emotionally, that means, again, our connection isn't right to other people. It's not authentic. We're not actually showing up in our best selves. We're not having those connections with other people on a really true emotional level if we're not taking care of our own internal conflict that might be going on. So I always say we have to look inside before we can look outside. And for most women, we look outside first because who can we take care of? Who can we help? And then we look inside. And we need to kind of flip that and look really inside first.
That is a fascinating way to look at things. For women who feel stuck in cycles of emotional eating or negative self-talk, what is the first step toward reclaiming control and confidence?
The first step is really awareness, recognizing that that's what you're doing, recognizing that you are really caught in that cycle of, again, it might be people pleasing. Maybe you're eating things based on what other people are doing. You're in a social situation and everybody else is having a glass of wine or everybody else is having dessert. And you're thinking, I can't be that person who's dieting or watching my weight or doing something like that. So I don't want to be awkward or, antisocial. So you go along with the crowd as opposed to really looking again internally and saying, what does my body need right now? How do I emotionally take care of myself? So that awareness of some of those habits, some of those things that we're doing, those activities that we're engaging in that aren't helping us, but are really just there for other people. I'm not saying we don't want to pay attention to other people, but it's that balance of both, right? Instead of having to choose one or the other.
Yeah. Given us a lot to think about. It definitely beyond, there is so much more beyond the scale.
There really is. There really is.
All right, buckle up. It's a lightning round questions.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Morning routine must have.
Prayer and water. Because without water, you're not hydrated. Without prayer, you're not centered for your day.
Okay. Favorite form of movement right now?
Strength training, beyond a doubt. I love feeling strong. I love lifting. It's amazing.
Okay. One affirmative every woman should say daily.
Oh, there's so many different things you could choose. But I like to say to myself, I'm doing the best that I can in the moment because we can't do any better than that.
Oh, that is a very good one. I might borrow that.
Yeah.
Go-to comfort meal.
Tacos for sure.
Oh, okay. I did not see that coming.
Very versatile. You can throw some veggies in there, some protein. It's great.
Okay. Beach vacation or mountain retreat?
Mountains for sure. Horses are my spirit animal. I love being in the mountains with horses and just being able to hike and all that kind of stuff. So absolutely mountains.
All right. Well, hopefully you'll get there soon in the near future. And thank you so much for sharing with us today. We greatly appreciate it, Jennifer.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer, for being with us today and for helping women navigate that very treacherous time of perimenopause and menopause with a holistic approach. It's time for us to hop down the road and see who's next in the driver's seat.